Hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today, taking time out of your busy day to come and see what I have going on. Going to forewarn you guys, it is hot here today. I hope you all are staying cool. It's a difficult task here. I mean, even in my house my poor AC unit is having trouble. So I know I'm just sitting here pulling things out, and to let you know, you probably saw it on the thumbnail, but I will let you know the day has finally come. I am working the pressed flowers finishing. Now I have my triangles here to put on my blocks. I don't even have my blocks out of my storage box here. Y'all know I keep everything in my little storage boxes. You'll probably notice my machine is moved down a little bit, more than normal, and that's so I can, you know, kind of keep everything right here. I figure I'm not sewing over on this side of the table, so I can move it. I do need to put some of my things over there, my little scissors and things like that. But here I have all of my blocks, and on the finishing it tells you where to put like block 1, 2, and 3. I don't know which is which, so I am pulling out. This is block 1. Block 1, I am going to put, I'm just going to lay these over here to the side. I'm looking at my instructions here, trying to anyway. We are going to put one of these triangles on this side and then on this side. And then we'll do the alternating. So y'all know I have trouble putting triangles on squares because they always get off. They're never centered for some reason. So what I am going to try to do, let me see if I can do this without having to press and pin. I know my point should be on the center, and it is. So what I am going to do is pin this at the center, because I know my point is the center. And I am just going to get to sewing, and let's hope it comes out right. So, and y'all, I want to thank everyone that has joined the sew along. It is where, you know, I think we have like 40 something participants in the Facebook group. So I'm really hoping that everyone enjoys doing this. I'm thinking this may be something that I will continue to do, because I do like putting a face to, you know, the comments that we get on YouTube. I mean, I can see your comments, but I can't see your face, and I think that's just extra special to connect. You know, it's more about, to me, connecting. And I love it in the Facebook group that you can do that. You know, you can see what everyone else is doing. We already have some people that have already started piecing their blocks together, which is really great. I'm so excited everyone is doing that. I'm behind. I still have not even cut the strips out, and I should have done that today, but I had my grandbaby today. And of course it is after my bedtime, Sharon. It's after my bedtime and I'm sewing. It's actually 9:35 p.m. But I had this on my schedule to be done the other day, and for this one to release on Sunday. So I'm going on and at least getting you an hour of it, because it is going to be more than one part. Because I know it's going to take me more than an hour to piece this quilt. That's okay. I'm fine with that. I am not using the finishing kit. I picked out my own colors. This is not the finishing kit color, but that's the color I'm using because I like that color. And I think it looks really good. I think this would be a very beautiful fall, autumn quilt or throw. I would love to have this in my living room in the fall time. I'm trying to center this, but I'm making sure my point, when I even up my edge, making sure that point is on that center line. I'm going to go ahead and pin this and then double check it. But anyway, I think the Facebook group is fabulous. I will be doing the another quilt also that got great response, and I thought, why not? I loved it too, and y'all know which one it is just by me telling you that. The grandma's scrappy quilt. Yes, sorry, we're gonna be doing that one. I don't know yet what fabric. I love the fabric that I did it in, but I don't have any more of that because that was straight out of my scrap bin. So I'm going to have to look to see what I have in my stash because, yeah, I believe I said at the beginning of the year, this was the year I was going to smash my stash, and I've only been growing my stash. Well, now that's what I'm trying to do, is smash it. Smash that stash and get some quilts made. I still have yet to do my labels, so I'm going to have to hand sew my labels on. I know if I had them done before I got quilts done, I could sew them in with the binding, but I don't have them done yet. I will be working a embroidery project on my machine, and I may make them then. I may go on and pull a design down and do them then, because I can use a template to do the labels. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I probably could actually chain stitch all of these, but I'm going to go ahead and do at least a block so you can see what it looks like. So here I have the first two sides done. So now I am going to do the third side. I'm just going to center that point up again. Y'all get the picture of how I'm doing it. Just trying to center that point, and then I sew it on. But I kind of just lost track of where I'm at. I guess I was talking about smashing the stash, and doing my labels, doing the embroidery labels. Now, y'all, I know technology has come a long way, but one of the projects I was going to work this weekend, and it was actually in my updates to do, and it's not going to be done. I will go on and tell you guys the God Bless America may not be done. I did have that as a project, but I have that God Bless America. That is an embroidery design that is on a CD. Not thinking about it. Not that I've used CDs on my computer or anything in a really long time, and I've gotten a new computer since the last time I did use the CD thing on it. My new computer does not have a CD drive. So I was not able to work that this weekend. Can y'all believe that? A computer that does not have a CD drive. The world has changed. I'm telling y'all. If you don't change with it, it will leave you behind. But, yeah, I thought that was crazy. My new computer does not have a CD drive. It has the place for one. So I called my husband. I was all upset because I've been cutting the fabric out while my grandbaby slept today, which was not much. I would cut fabric. And I got all the interfacing, all the whatever the thing is, and to top it off, kind of on the same subject, but I found out I got the wrong, let me grab it from right here. The Thermalam Plus, I got the kind you have to sew in, I was supposed to get the 971 and I got the 970, but the 970 is all the store had. So, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I just know I can't get it to go back where I had it, so I'll just put it in a different location right now. But I'm probably just going to use what I have. Okay, why is this doing this? For some reason, my machine is wanting to make a rat's nest under the bottom. I guess I need to check to see what's going on there. I may need to brush it out and re-oil it. Or it could be almost out of bobbin too. Nope, my bobbin is good. But y'all, I got to spend the day with my sweet little old grandbaby. That was so nice to spend some time with him. And, but of course, you know, my daughter had to work. And those of y'all that have followed me on YouTube for a little while, you know, recently we have had a little bit going on. My children have with their father. He is at home and well. Thank you all for your kind words and thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. I'm just giving it a quick brush here. I don't really see, most of this is from what I've just done. Sometimes you just have to rethread a machine. And, you know, because sometimes it just needs a rethreading. I'm going to put a little more oil in it. Although my little bobbin thing here looks like it's got plenty oil, I just put another little drop in there. Just to keep it going smooth. And sometimes I can't get it to go in real quick. Oh, that went in pretty good though. So we're just going to redo that. And that's all it takes, y'all. Most of the time, that's literally the extent of cleaning it and brushing it out, oiling it. That's all it takes. Now, it does tell me to, you know, run it a little bit when I oil it. I don't. I go on and I do need to back up a stitch or two there. That might be all it needed, was just that, take that bobbin out a little bit. Looks like I'm going to have to pull my stiletto out because I have some seams that are not wanting to go right. And if my table was low enough, I could actually hit my lever over here and get that straightened out, but it's not. That may be something I have to do. I have done a little reorganizing with my sewing table here. I know I've told y'all before that I have boxes under my table, because it's a table. It's not a desk or anything like that. It's a table, and the table will raise and lower. And I have it is pretty high. I mean, y'all can tell it's pretty high because it's up to my chest here. But I may be able to lower it a little bit. I hope I can. But I've moved some boxes around on it to be where I could put my basket back under here. I have a basket that I keep most of my most used items in it. Normally my pens are in it, but I do need to go through it and kind of clean it out and reorganize it. You know, sometimes those things kind of get a lot of stuff in it. I keep my spare threads in it as well. Okay, this is my block 1 here. Y'all, this is beautiful. Now, instead of going on and doing all my blocks like this, I'm going to go on and complete 1 whole block so y'all can see what it looks like. And then we'll just go start in succession sewing there. But the next step, I know I have to take, let's see, I have to take 4 of my little corner squares. I have to take 4 of them, and I will put them on each corner of the big block, and we will sew it on the diagonal, and then we will trim it. Okay, now I have my diagonals on my 4 corner blocks. So what I am doing here now is just matching up those edges. And we are just going to get that sewn together here. I'm going to lay it down here because this is quite a large block, y'all. I did not realize. I know what it said the finished size is, but you never really realize how big that is until you're sewing it. I'm going to do a couple back stitches there. Now I've got to get this twisted to where it is centered on my machine. And this is why that laser light is so important to me, because I can't see where my lines are on my machine. So I have one of those things. I know a lot of people like, well, put tape on your machine. I literally cannot see the edge of my machine when this whole block is on it. So I have the thing that hangs over. I don't like it. It doesn't stick properly on my machine. That's why I draw my diagonals. It's just easier for me. So now we're going to move on to the next corner. So I'm just going to turn it. I think it's easier if I go on and put it here under my needle so I can even this all up, and it makes it easier to see. You guys are probably wondering also why there's a time difference of when I posted my videos over the like Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday it's later in the evening. Saturday is, I post them early on Saturday because that way if you want to sew all day, you can start with the sew along video. My fabric, this square is so big it's catching everything on my table, so I have to have my table over here clean now. I've realized that. Probably would have been best if I had put the corner squares, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But I need to see what the next step is after this. But it may be easier to do, no, well, it could be because I'm still going to have a point. I don't know. I may try one. I may try a block that way to see if that's easier also. To put my little squares on my triangles first. Because that could be a game changer for me. I know I was saying earlier, and I think I got sidetracked, about the CD drives. So anyway, when we purchased my computer, it does not have a CD drive on it, which is kind of strange to me because I can't imagine buying a computer without a CD drive. But I do know that things, you know, have evolved and CDs aren't as used. Most things are on thumb drives now. Well, that God Bless America embroidery project that I was going to do, the pattern is on a CD drive. And it tells me to put it on a thumb drive. So the directions actually tell you to put it on a thumb drive. So why not just go on and put it on a thumb drive? A small one. You know, just put it, you don't have to have a thumb drive that's got all that extra space on it. Just put it on a thumb drive. So I think from now on, I am going to have to pay attention first off to if it's a CD or if it is a thumb drive. And if it is a CD, I may request that they move it over to a thumb drive for me. But my husband, he told me, he said, just go up to Office Depot and buy an external. He's like, because it's only this amount of money and you'd have it then. Well, yeah, I know, but I don't like spending money on that. Okay, now I have that block completed. So my next one, I am going to try doing the corner blocks, or the little corners. So now we are going to do 4 of the triangles, and I am just going to get my square. So this is we're just trying this out to see if this works better, or if doing the triangle first and then sewing this on works best. We're just trying to see. We're experimenting. I don't mind experimenting, especially if it makes it a lot easier. To sew this together. And yeah, if you have not joined our Facebook group, I do have a Facebook group out there. It's called MyHobbyHomeLife. You may have to search for it. I will have the link in the description. That is where I will be putting all of my sew-alongs that I do. In progresses of pieces that I'm working on. If I have a sew along, you are more than welcome to join it. I will do an initial post, and anything involving that sew along, you would comment under that single post. That way we can, you know, see progresses and things for that sew along, because I may be doing more than one sew along at a time. Because y'all know I stay busy. I sew just about every single day of the week if I can. because I do have a lot going on with quilts. I don't know what it is, but I've got an addiction to making quilts now. I've only been quilting for a year. June was a year for me. I actually made or completed my very first quilt the first weekend in June. I believe it was actually June 3rd of 2023. It was for my first grandchild, and her baby shower was on that day. It was June 3rd last year. And I literally put the binding on it after the baby shower, because I messed up putting the binding on it before the baby shower. So I did not get to give it to her as a gift. But I went home after the baby shower and was able to fix the binding. And my son and daughter-in-law came by the house, and I gave it to her then. So that was the first quilt that I ever made. And it was a jelly roll quilt, and it was a zigzag pattern. I didn't know that was not a good pattern to start with for a beginner, but it was beautiful. I loved it. It was so pretty. And it was using the sugarberry line, so and the 14th of this month will be my 1 year on YouTube. So we will have a celebration for that as well. Because 1 year on YouTube, that's for me amazing to have stuck with it this long and to have done this for this long. I can't believe anybody actually wants to see anything I'm doing, but hey, I am loving it, and I hope you are too. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these pieces off here. I'm going to trim it at 1/4 of an inch, and then I will press it. I do press all seams. Right now I'm doing everything towards the outside. So I'm going outward of the block. So like this here, it will press towards the red. But I am loving my journey quilting, or learning how to quilt, because there is still a lot for me to learn and a lot for me to do. When I was at one of the local quilt shops, it's the one that I get my poppy cotton glue from. She showed me a new sew-along that they're doing. And it has a lot of appliquing in it. I told her, I said, I stay away from appliquing unless it's machine appliquing. I don't do it. Anything that requires me to do that with my hands, I don't do. Okay, I'm going to press and be right back. Okay, so now I have these done. So we're experimenting, seeing which way is going to be the easiest way. So let me grab, I'm guessing this is my block 2. This is my block 2. So we are going to start by adding the top left and bottom right on here, and we are going to see how this works. If this works how I think it is, then I will go ahead and mark all of my squares for corner squares, and we will just get all of those sewn. I try to make sure to line that point up right in the center before I pin it. And I pin it with that point on the center line. There is a center line so far in all the blocks that, of course, this is only the second block. So there may be one that doesn't have a center line. But I hope they do. I hope they all have a center line because that will make it so much easier. Let's see how this one turns out. I can already tell that the placement of it, there's nothing really changed by that. Because, I mean, that point, whether it be the brown fabric or the corner piece that we added, it's going to be the center. It has to be the center because that's your corner piece. So let's see how this turns out. This will be our second side that we're doing. And I've actually looked at the instructions and followed the instructions. Normally I'll do one, then I'll do the next one, then I'll go around the block. This, you're actually supposed to do the alternating sides first and then do the other alternating sides. But no, that's not how I've done it. I'm not good at following instructions a lot of times. I'm trying to get better at that. But it looks like the blocks come out real easy. So let me press these and we'll see how these look and then we'll add the other two. Well, those have gone on really nice. So now we're going to go to the other two sides. And this is going to be telling us if we're going to do this or not. I think it is going to work out fine. Because so far everything seems to be working just like it did when I didn't have that on there. I don't see why that would make a difference if that's there or not. And yeah, these are, I know I've said it once, these are some enormous blocks finished out. I mean, they are pretty good sized. But let's see what this looks like. And let's see, we are running at right at an hour already. Sewing. So I know I'm not going to keep you guys very long, but I know I can edit this down to about 30 minutes. So it has taken us an hour to get, well, I've had to do some other things. I've had to mark my squares to put them on here, so we know we've had that, and I've had to press, so that takes a little time too, but I think mainly marking is what has taken the most of the time. And I edit that part out. I mean, the trimming and the marking, I normally edit that out so y'all don't have to see that. But, you know, it happens. You know what you have to edit. You know, you have to mark. You know, you have to trim, I mean. Because in the sew along, I just thought about this. If there's something that you want to be a talking point, put that in. Oh, I don't know if y'all just saw that or not, but my sewing machine just literally went off. Our power flickered out. That's weird. And we're not even having bad weather right now. Okay, I'm going to see if I can finish this block, y'all. But, yeah, I'm going to call this real quick because we're right at an hour. And for my power to do that, I don't know what's going on. It's just flickered off again. I'm hoping that does not hurt my machine because it cuts my machine off every time it's done that. Okay, guys. I'm going to call it because this keeps cutting my machine off and I don't want it to hurt my machine. So, I'm just cutting it off. So, guys, I would like to thank you for joining me this evening. We've had quite a few unexpected events just here right then. But please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. Check out the links in the description. There will be our Facebook group out there. There will be things that I use while I sew. I will have links there for you to check things out. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.